can't have this anymore. In the regular season, he gets all he wants at the rim. He is this generation's Wilt Chamberlain, just finger rolling at the rim. He just swoops to the hoop and lays the ball home. And once he gets downhill on you, you know and I know, you cannot stop this man. No. But you can stop him with your mind and your strategy, because if you take that away, he doesn't have enough more to complement his game to hurt your defensive strategy of build a wall about 3 feet from the basket, right? Okay, that means by his standards, he is being overrated. I keep doing that, and I'll do it in all caps, overrated, because he did just do something only 2 other players have ever done. MVP, Defensive Player of the Year in the same year. And by the way, speaking of Defensive Player of the Year.
So what did Jordan do in that year?
Okay, that's fine. But he did it. Is that not a historic feat?
Giannis is going to do it. Is that not a historic feat?
Okay, I ask you, did Michael Jordan ever flame out in a playoff series the way LeBron did in 09, 10, and 11, twice for Cleveland and the first year in Miami? Did one time he ever have one playoff series where you said, Michael, what happened? You shrank, you disappeared. Nobody ever said that. Even when he wasn't getting out of the first round, he was scaring the holy hell out of the Boston Celtics, who barely swept him. They won close games each time. One game, the first game, he scored 63 and it went to overtime. They were relieved to get out from under the guy that Larry Bird called God disguised as Michael Jordan.
Okay, Skip, if we look at the last three finals LeBron has lost, he's 33, 11, and 9.
Okay.
So what credit do we get for that? Did he win? Did Michael Jordan win?
Yeah, once he broke through, he just won and won and won.
Skip,
he would have won 8 straight finals.
Skip, who's to say that Giannis, once he breaks through?
So here's the point. The Giannis I'm seeing, he's not an alpha. He doesn't have, as they say, that dog in him. He does not have takeover intangibles. He's a complementary star, and Richard is exactly right. He's in search of maybe not a Jordan, but a co-star. He's Anthony Davis in New Orleans, where he was the PER prince in search of his LeBron, and he found him. Anthony Davis does not have that dog in him, as Charles Barkley said a few weeks back. Anthony Davis is a complementary, a Robin to Batman. He's a supremely talented Robin. But you watch, now that the playoffs are starting for the Lakers and the spotlight is getting really bright and hot, let's see how Anthony does under that spotlight. This ain't Portland anymore.
Is that the same Charles Barkley that predicted Portland was going to win?
Okay, all right. But again,
so you nitpicking what he said. You said he said Anthony Davis ain't not that dog, but you didn't mention he was absolutely wrong.
Charles is much better on critiquing players and like social issues that we're about to talk about in a few minutes on this show than he is predicting games.
Can I ask you?
He is foolish when he predicts games.
Can I ask you a question? So was Kevin Durant, when his leaving OKC, going to Golden State, was he Pippen?
Going to Golden State?
Yes, when Kevin Durant left.
I told you why he left.
It doesn't matter, Skip.
Yes, it does. What are you talking about? There you go again. You're moving the goalpost.
Skip.
I dug in up front on that in 2012. I said on television, on ESPN, Kevin Durant is going to leave Russell Westbrook because he can't stand playing with a primary ball-handling decision-maker who gets to decide every time up the court, my turn or your turn. I think it's my turn, and I got the ball in my hands. And we're seeing it right now with James. Can James win with Russ? It's hard.
Skip, we got here because Jay Williams said LeBron James and Scottie Pippen for going to leak up with D-Wade, and now you changed it again.
Oh, no, you changed the subject because you asked a bizarre question that was off subject. Now we get to Jay Williams. And he says, LeBron was a Pippen with D-Wade once. Well, no, he wasn't. And there we agree. Okay, it's just wrong-headed. I don't know what Jay is trying to say because, no, he wasn't. What had LeBron just done? Well, he'd won back-to-back MVPs. Did Scottie Pippen ever win an MVP? No, he didn't. That 1 year without Jordan when I think he finished third, I believe. Okay.
He was the All-Star Game MVP.
He was an All-Star Game MVP. But at that point, LeBron had been a 6-time All-Star and twice won All-Star Game MVP. He is Jordan-esque in his talent. I don't think he has anywhere near Jordan's intangibles. That's highly debatable, but the point was he tried, in Cleveland to do it by himself, and he ran into my Spurs in the 07 finals, and it's like, I'm the best player on the floor, but I got swept. And he was. He's the most talented player on the floor, and it's really by far that he was the most talented player. And then we turn around in 09, and he hits the shot heard round the world to save game 2 at home against the Orlando Magic. And then it starts to get rocky again, and he loses that series in 6 games. Flamed out. And then the next year, Boston became his last year, the first go-around in Cleveland. And you know what happened. It flamed out. He played one of the all-time great games on a Friday night at Boston in Game 3, and they're up 2-1, and they go, loss, loss, loss.
You see what you do, though, Skip? When LeBron James loses, he averaged 36 in that series.
Okay.
Hold on, Skip, let me finish. When LeBron James loses, he always flames out. Michael Jordan loses, all you do is say, look at the numbers that he put up. You cannot have it both ways.
Time out. Against Boston, it got so bad that someone from LeBron's camp leaked to ESPN that LeBron had to be sedated before games 4, 5, and 6, all flame-out games for LeBron and the Cavaliers against the Boston Celtics because of an interpersonal issue, inter-locker room issue with a teammate. And I called baloney. In fact, I said, I need to be sedated because that got leaked because I don't believe he was sedated before those games. Then Dan Gilbert publicly accused LeBron of quitting in those games against the Boston Celtics, which obviously was leading to LeBron's departure. I take my talents to South Beach. He needed a big brother. This is what he was. LeBron at that point was Batman with Robin's intangibles. He didn't know how to win yet. He needed somebody, Dwayne Wade, a very close friend and a big brother figure, to teach him to win. You had to go to Baltimore and you taught some of those younger players, this is how you do it. This is how you handle yourself. And Dwayne taught LeBron how to control his emotions, how to channel his energy in the right direction, how to quit reading social media, quit listening to what I say or anybody else says, and lock in on the goal at hand, which is finally in 2012 beating the Oklahoma City Thunder. But it took 2011. It was the all-time flameout for a superstar in the finals. It was the meltdown of meltdowns by LeBron James, and it taught him a lesson. I need to learn how to do this, and Dwayne helped him immensely, and everybody believes that. But nobody believes that he went there as Scottie Pippen. Everybody saw him
but that's
as
what Jay Williams said.
Okay, well, that started it. So it was so wrong-headed by Jay Williams, in my opinion. Why would LeBron even respond to it? Why would you honor it? Why would you validate it? Why would you fuel the controversy?
The same reason when they asked Michael Jordan, could LeVar Ball beat him one-on-one in his prime? The exact same reason Michael Jordan responded. Because at some point in time, I'm just not going to let you keep spewing bull jive.
Huh, interesting. Well, what does it really matter in the throes of the playoffs? We're about to, they're starting tonight.
Are they playing that? Well, they weren't playing. He Skip, you make it seem like he was in the middle of a timeout. And Frank